You were supposed to be obsolete by now. That was the dream. AI writes the code, you sip coffee, nod thoughtfully at dashboards, retire at 32 to consult. Instead, you are supervising a robot that types 120 words per minute and lies with confidence. Remember when the headline said AI would replace programmers? What they meant was it would promote you to middle management for autocomplete. You don't write the code anymore. You review it. You gently ask the robot why it created a recursive function that calls itself into the void. It replies, very politely, that this is industry standard. Industry standard for who? Mars? The fantasy is clean. You paste in a ticket, it spits out brilliance, you ship. The reality is, you spend 40 minutes debugging something ChatGPT assured you was optimal, elegant, and definitely not deprecated in 2017. Working with AI feels like supervising a genius intern who learned programming exclusively from Stack Overflow comments and vibes. It's fast, it's creative, it has no fear, which is not always what you want in production. And here's the quiet problem. If the robot is doing all the typing, what exactly are you doing with your brain? If AI writes 80% of your code, you're basically on intellectual bed rest. Coding was never really about remembering where the semicolons go. It was about staring at a problem long enough that it gets uncomfortable, then a little more uncomfortable, then suddenly obvious. That slow grind is the rep. That's the muscle. Now we've outsourced the reps. Using AI for everything is like bringing a forklift to pick up a pencil. Technically efficient, spiritually concerning. There's this annoying truth about expertise. Your brain rewires itself when you struggle. When you make a mistake, fix it. Make a slightly smarter mistake, fix that. That friction is the point. Skip the friction, and you skip the wiring. It's like hiring someone to go to the gym for you. You'll both feel productive, but only one of you is getting stronger. And I get it. The AI is right there. It's fast. It doesn't sigh dramatically when you ask it to refactor something for the third time. But if it's doing the decomposition, the debugging, the architectural thinking, then what are you practicing? Because some developers are using AI like a calculator, and some are using it like a replacement brain. There are only 3 kinds of developers in the AI era. You already know which one you are. I definitely know which one I am. Tier 1, the collaborator. This person treats AI like a sparring partner. They write the first draft. They think through the architecture. Then they ask the model to poke holes in it. What edge cases am I missing? Can this be cleaner? They're still driving. The AI is in the passenger seat, suggesting shortcuts, sometimes bad ones. But still, Tier 2, the delegator. This person pastes the entire Jira ticket into the chat box and whispers, "Handle it." The code comes back. It looks convincing. There are comments. There are tests. We are shipping on vibes now. Tier 3 is where things get spiritual. The prompt archaeologist. They don't know how the system works, but they have a Notion page called Sacred Prompts. It's 47 variations of, "You are a senior software engineer with 20 years of experience." They don't debug. They rephrase. The scary part is Tier 3 can look productive until something breaks, and then suddenly we all remember why understanding things used to matter. Here's the part nobody likes. You have to do some of it the hard way, on purpose. Try this sometime. Write the solution yourself first. All of it, even if it's ugly, especially if it's ugly. Then ask the AI to critique it. Not generate it, critique it. It feels inefficient. It is inefficient. That's the point. Rubber duck debugging used to mean explaining your code to a plastic duck until you heard your own mistake out loud. Now we have robot duck debugging. The robot will happily explain your bug to you. It will also confidently invent a new one. So maybe explain it to the duck first, then bring in the robot. Even at places like Google, the interviews are still about reasoning, system design, trade-offs, why this over that. They are not asking, describe your favorite prompt structure. They want to see you think, slowly, out loud, without autocomplete whispering sweet suggestions in your ear, which is inconvenient. Because thinking is slower than prompting. And slower doesn't feel impressive. But impressive and useful have never been the same thing. And companies know the difference. Nobody is paying 6 figures for guy who knows how to say please to a chatbot. I know it feels like a skill. You tweak the phrasing. You add, act as a senior engineer. You threaten it with, be concise. The output improves. You feel powerful, like you discovered fire. but it's still just asking a tool to do a thing. Go look at actual hiring loops. System design interviews are not turning into, walk me through your favorite prompt. They're still asking how you'd scale a service to 1 million users, how you'd handle failure, what trade-offs you'd accept. That uncomfortable pause while you think, that's still there. Even the big companies we like to mythologize, Google, Amazon, whoever, still need adults in the room. Distributed systems don't run on vibes. They run on someone understanding why a decision was made in the first place. AI accelerates output. It does not replace judgment. And judgment is boring to practice. You can't outsource it. You can't paste it into a text box and wait for it to come back cleaner, which leads to the awkward conclusion that the thing worth protecting isn't your typing speed, it's your ability to think without help. That robot intern we hired earlier? It's not getting fired. It's fast. It doesn't sleep. It will refactor your code at 2 a.m. with the enthusiasm of someone who has never felt shame. It will also hallucinate a library that does not exist and cite it like it's peer-reviewed. And somehow, that's fine. Because calculators didn't kill math. They just killed long division as a personality trait. Spreadsheets didn't eliminate accountants. They eliminated the romance of doing it by hand. The tool changes. The responsibility doesn't. If the AI writes the first draft, great. If it suggests a cleaner pattern, amazing. But when production catches fire, nobody calls the chatbot into the incident review. They call you, the calm human, the one who is supposed to understand why the thing works, not just how to regenerate it. In the age of AI, the competitive edge isn't typing faster than a machine that types infinitely fast. It's being the one person in the room whose brain isn't on intellectual bed rest. You're not obsolete. You're supervising a very caffeinated machine. So maybe keep lifting the pencil yourself once in a while.